Hey brother! Ben, I have a feeling this video is going to be legend. Wait for it. Legendary! So Ben, obviously I'm going to be talking about How I Met Your Mother today, one of my favorite shows on TV and one of the most unique ones on TV. Sorry, there might be some spoilers, fair warning. But first I'm going to answer your question, Ben. Do I ever interact with books or TV shows in the same way? And yes, I do. A lot of times if I've been reading a book for a while, I'll start getting like the author's voice in my head and like start thinking in their sentence structures and stuff. And the same thing kind of happens to me if I've been watching like a lot of TV shows. Like if I watch too much Friends in a row, I'll just start making like Chandler quips all over the place, and of course they're not as funny as Chandler, so I just look like a jerk. Now sadly I have not had the How I Met Your Mother voice in my head for a while because it is hard to keep up with TV when you're doing a year-long video project, when you're not just power watching on Netflix or something like that. But CBS makes it impossible to watch their crap off of www.cbs.com. They're not on Netflix or Hulu Plus or Xfinity or HBO Go, all of which I have, none of which I can use to watch How I Met Your Mother. So I might not be 100% up to date, and that is sad. But you know what, Ben? It's okay, because anytime I'm feeling sad, I stop feeling sad and feel awesome instead. True story. But you know what, Ben? Ugh. Before I can continue, I think I need to suit up! Well, hello there. So if you're not familiar with the show, it is about a happy couple, Marshall and Lily, their SHIELD agent friend, Robin Scherbatsky, their super awesome friend, Neil Patrick Harris, and then their other friend who's like trying to get married or something. What's his name? Ted. So the show is told from older Ted's perspective, which gives us a lot of cool and unique opportunities because, unlike most shows, we know the ending. Ted gets married. We just don't know who to or how it happened. It's a really cool mystery that kind of drives the show. Except what really drives the show is everyone else. See, because we know Ted gets married at the end of the show, we also know that most of his relationships are going to fail, which to me gives the show an odd problem. See, as the show became more popular and they added more and more seasons onto it, they had to continue to delay Ted's happiness further and further down the road. Now maybe the show initially planned for this because they gave Ted like a 2-season buffer to pursue Robin, which we know after episode 1 isn't going to work out. And then Ted gets left at the altar, which is sad, but this is where the problem arises. See, up to this point, you've only known Ted as this hopeless romantic, and you're like rooting for his success because that's what the show's about. But after this point, Ted just continuously strikes out because the show must go on. And after a while, you stop siding with Ted. You start to wonder if Ted isn't the problem. Is Ted really a good catch? And I'm not sure he is, because Ted can be very arrogant and condescending and takes a lot of pity on himself. Which might not be an issue, except that we've heard how awesome the wife is. Admittedly from future Ted's point of view, so he probably is a little bit biased, but nonetheless, she sounds way cooler than Ted. Why does Ted deserve her? Because destiny. The other thing I love about the show is that because we know Ted's destiny, we can see how Ted's life crisscrosses at certain points and how close he comes to meeting the mother and how many times little decisions might have derailed everything and sent his life in a completely different direction. And it makes you wonder about your own life, like what tiny decisions you make each day, taking a fork in the road to taking a shortcut to work. Will it change the entirety of your life? We do occasionally see the wife, but never her face. She's always hiding underneath a yellow umbrella, and it gives me chills every time I see it. Even just thinking about it. I'm getting it right now, but you can't see because I'm in a suit. What I really can't wait to see is how they introduce the mother to us, because the show can't really end on the last episode like, boom, and that's her. That's a wrap, everybody. We, the audience, have to kind of get to know her for a little while. But at the same time, I don't feel like we can immediately know that it's her. Like, the final reveal still has to be exciting. The other thing to remember is that what we're being told is being told to us from Ted to his kids. So each part of the story needs to be important to how he met his life. It's another example of how the show deals in destiny. Every single little thing should be pushing him a little bit closer, or why even include it in the story, right? The light just went out. I have no idea what that's about, but moving forward, just the first episode always gets me thinking because 2 major things happen. 1, Lily and Marshall get engaged, and 2, Ted meets Robin. And it begs the question, why start there? Is the engagement the catalyst for Ted to start looking for his wife seriously? Or is Robin the first piece of the puzzle, so start with her? Ugh, so much to consider, and I've barely even scratched the surface of the awesomeness that is this show. The slat bet, Robin Sparkles, the blue French horn, anything Neil Patrick Harris related. But anyway, it's late and the light just died and I have to get up really early tomorrow. So Ben, my question for you and everybody else is, who is your favorite character? How is he going to meet the mother? Mother? What is going to happen? What's your favorite episode? Anything. Just discuss some How I Met Your Mother. I want to jump down in there when I can. I really love the show and talking about it, so leave me some good stuff down in the towel section, and I will see you in another life, brother.